Okay, just had to couple of the injury things. So Andrew Wiley has the sprained ankle. He's getting better, but not quite all the way back yet. Fisher, Jones, Watkins are all making progress. They're day to day, working hard, and we'll just see how things go here the next few days as we get ready to play Green Bay. Hold on one second. So we look for the challenge of playing the Packers. We know they're a good football team. Matt's done a nice job with that crew, and which was evident yesterday against a good Raiders football team. So, and then Mike Pettin has that Bob Sutton connection there, and so he's doing a good job with their defense. And so between the two of them, they're playing good football. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
What are the challenges of preparing a reserve quarterback?
Yeah, so we'll see how it all goes, but we have a lot of confidence in Matt, and just having known him for a short period of time, really, but also knowing what he's done when he's had opportunities to play. So he'll get himself ready to go, which he does every week. I mean, he's relentless with that, even when Patrick was healthy there. So he spent a lot of time getting himself ready to go. So.
Andy, I'm sorry. Andy, I know you mentioned in the teleconference Monday sort of the transition that you thought was pretty as close to seamless as you could from one quarterback to the next with their field. I mean, just in more detail, what went on to it that led you feel like you guys are as prepared as possible for such a situation?
I think it's the way Matt goes about his business. So he works extremely hard at that. He doesn't get a lot of reps in practice, so he stands in the back. You guys have been out of practice, so you know, but he stands in the back and goes through all the different motions as if he's actually playing there. And so, as well as you can be prepared, he does that without being the starter.
I know it's somewhat difficult when a guy comes in sort of week one and tries to learn the offense as you go, but just how much do you think you build the confidence in him and him understanding and sort of feeling comfortable with the playbook from week one to where we are now?
Yeah, so he came in just right after that last that third preseason game, just before the last preseason game there, and so it's been a short period of time, but he's digested what we're doing and done it well. He's been around long enough to where he's probably seeing most of the things that we do are close to it, individual route wise at least. So he's picked it up well. Sharp kid.
Andy, going back to your time in Philly, but also in your early years here, you've been able to get some good play out of your backups when they've had to play quarterbacks. What's the key to all that? What's the key to getting a backup ready to play at a high level?
I think it's the player and their relationship with the coordinator and their coach, and so we've had good coordinators here, and we've had good quarterback coaches, and we've had good players, which helps, and that's the way it was where I was at other, whether I was at Philly or here, it was that way. So those guys dig in and they learn. It's not an automatic that happens, that they play well. That's not it. You've got to work extremely hard at that. And so Matt's going to have to put a lot of time and effort into this week, like he does every week, and get himself ready.
Coach, how much more of a lift is it for you to know that you have a quarterback you haven't worked a lot with to go into this situation? Does it put more on your plate to try to figure out what he's comfortable with and then go from there, or just how does it change your week?
Well, you hope you've done enough studying on him before that player gets here to kind of know their strengths and weaknesses, but it doesn't really put more on your plate as far as that goes. We've got enough in the offense where I might be able to give you a couple of plays, BJ.
All right. Okay.
Coach Rick says Patrick is progressing nicely. How much of a definitive timeline do you have, or is there a target date that you would like to see him potentially get back on the practice field? So
all these guys are different. The way they do it. I don't think you put a timeline on this thing. I think you just go and you take it, you know, as you go off his, how he feels and what the doctors say and go with it. I don't think there's a set time, though. I know people want a time. I don't think you can do that with this injury.
We've heard, I've seen a lot of reports and stuff like that. You mentioned that on Friday, you hadn't seen Ian in the building when he was giving reports on how long this could be. Time like, is he ruled out for this week, though?
Yeah, we're going to just see how he does. And, you know, I'd probably say it'd be a stretch for him to get there, but he's working hard, and, you know, from the information that we've had to this point, you know, he's doing what he can do, and we'll just see how it goes. And but we're going to get Matt ready to go. On the other hand, so you know that's where we're at right now.
Coach, what have your conversations been like with Patrick?
They've been good. I mean, listen. I mean, when you've been around him long enough, you know that there's nothing is impossible with this kid. He goes 100 miles an hour, and it's important that, you know, and he's smart this way, but it's important that he listens to the doctors and the trainers, and that he continues to work hard at the same time and get himself ready to go. So he's doing all the things that he can possibly do. And Rick, one reason I have Rick talk is so he can tell you about all this, and those guys, they spend a lot of time together. So we'll just see how it all works out.
And when you're missing a guy like Patrick, if that's going to be the case, do you have to guard against tendencies for the other guys not to sort of stretch beyond, you know, their assignments on plays and to just stay within the offense, even if there's a different guy there?
Yeah, I think you know, Matt gives you the confidence that he can come in. It's not going to be exactly like Pat's. I mean, they're all different. Every player is different. So, but I think just because he's been around a long time and had success, that, I mean, people, in the way he handles himself, people have confidence in him. So, but it's important that he does he continues to be Matt, and that the other guys continue to be themselves, and let's just go on with the week. You never know what's going to happen one way or another. So.
Couple more.
When you're trying to weigh any player, is it different if you've got someone who is a franchise type quarterback, when you're trying to think about not just Sunday night's game or next Sunday's game, but on down the road?
Yeah, so I know, I get it. I've been asked that over the years, and what we do is we just do the right thing. We make sure that the player is able to play, and then as opposed to playing all the games with that you might think, or people might think, we're real with the whole thing, and if you can play, you can play. If you can't, you can't. And so I expect the next guy to step up and play. And I've been fortunate to be around good people that brought in good players and been able to do that. And that way you don't have to get into all the who do you play next and this and that. I mean, how do you explain that to a player, a team? Well, we're not going to play this guy because we think we're going to be okay, but next week we got to really win. You can't do that, right? I mean, that doesn't make sense. So as opposed to getting into all that, we go out and Brett busts his tail to find good players to bring them in, so we don't have to get into all that stuff and the politics of the game, and you can just go play. If you're healthy, you play. If you're not, you're not. You know, so.
If you end up in a position where Kyle is going to be your backup behind Matt, what have you seen so far that tells you that he's ready for that position?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's worked hard. He's obviously young and doesn't have a ton of experience. I mean, that would be the negative part. The positive is that when he's had opportunities to play in the preseason, he did well. I mean, he made the team, and you could, which is a big thing. So, if that's the direction we go, we go. I mean, Brett deals with all that, and but he sure put together a nice preseason. If that means anything, you have no data, and I have no data on him playing in regular season games. So that's the unknown.
Last one, Nate.
I know you mentioned before Sammy, Chris, even maybe Kimbo. Is there any optimism that guys might be ready to practice going up through this week?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, we got a couple days here, so we'll see. Again, that's something I just listen. If you're there, let's go. And if you're not, then you're not. But if you're ready to go, let's get in there and go.